All right, today I am here with the very first employee of Simmons Media, Gabe Francis. Gabe, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good, can't complain. So today I just kind of want to take some time to tell the story of how you got here, and kind of what your role is in the business. So if you just want to start with saying who you are and kind of give the listeners your story.
Yeah. So my name's Gabe Francis. I just graduated from Westchester University, right down the street, last May. Graduated with a media culture degree with a focus in production. So that's where I was kind of honing in on skills during school. And I've always just had a passion for videography and anything that really has to do with cameras, beginning in high school. So that's where the passion started. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, so taking it back to those like high school days, what were you doing with the camera? I know for me, I was always trying to make YouTube channels, doing like trick shots in basketball, doing like current events, new style videos. What did that look like for you?
Yeah, I can't. I think I also got a camera like for YouTube. Like I started out with like a point and shoot that my grandparents had, and then I was also doing like a gaming YouTube and stuff like
Nice.
that. Not trick shots. I wasn't good at sports for that, but I think gaming was like my first one, like Minecraft videos and stuff like that. And then I got into photography with my buddy. I forget how it happened, but riled up some money in high school, and bought a I bought my first DSLR. It was a Canon 70D. I still have it. So it's
Okay.
just a beauty. But yeah, and I just started taking pictures with my friends. We would go to like abandoned places and just like take pictures of each other. Like that's like literally what we did. And then I got really into it. Um, and yeah, it was like three of us. We would just go. We'd all just take pictures of each other because we all just loved photography. We were doing portrait photography mainly. We would travel. We'd go to like New York and stuff just for photography, just to like take pictures for fun. Um, and then I would do like videography like on the side and stuff like that. But it started with photography. So.
So going off that, did you kind of always know that you wanted to go to college for this field? And if so, what did you think, your career was going to look like after college?
Yeah, so I wanted to go into school for film. I didn't think I wasn't gonna go for photography because, to be honest, I just didn't see really too much of a career in that because it's not like I don't know. It just wasn't. I just didn't see like longevity with that. Um, so I just kind of did it on the side. So that's why I did film. And I wanted to go for film at Westchester, but they didn't have a film major. But they just started media culture.
Yeah.
Like the first year that we were both in school, that was the first year that media culture was a thing. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna do that instead of undecided. So I stuck with that and I did production. And I just like carried it through. I did not know what I was gonna do after college. Like I was just gonna go and just like play it by ear and see what happened, and it like worked out perfectly. So
Yeah,
yeah.
no, that's a great point. And so kind of talk to me about that process of then you were in school. You knew you wanted to do something in the field, but you had no idea what it was going to be. Talk to me about kind of that whole situation. So like leading up to graduation, and then afterwards until we met.
Right. So in I was like terrified. I'm sure like everyone has this going through their head. I'm sure you had it going through your head at maybe at some point. But I mean, I was my December, like last December, I was like scared I wasn't even gonna graduate. Like I was terrified. Like it was just so much going on. And then I like couldn't get an internship. I couldn't find any jobs. Like I had friends that like were already set to have a job like right when they graduated, and I had no idea what I was even doing. Like I didn't know what I was doing. Um, and then after I graduated, I just started like applying. I mean, it was like every day, like I was applying, and it was really hard. And then I remember I gave up for a little bit. I went on vacation with my family, and I stopped applying for a little bit because I kind of lost a little bit of hope. And then I was applying one day. I remember this is like, I think I told you this, but I was literally on the beach, like applying for jobs through LinkedIn, and I applied to this job, and then it was like a day or so later, you like messaged me on LinkedIn, and I was like, whoa. I was like, that was like, it was like crazy because I had been applying for so long, and it was just like I like barely got responses. So
Right.
it was.
Would you think it was fake?
I thought it was like a recruiter or something like that. That's what I thought like instantly. But then you were like, yeah, send me your portfolio, and then you just kept responding. I was like, oh my gosh, like all right. So yeah.
Nice. I mean, being on the beach, hearing back from a potential job. I mean, sounds like a pretty good trip to me.
It worked out perfectly. Yeah.
So kind of then from that moment and when you started here, talk to me about just kind of your role now, because it's developed a good bit in just the few months you've been here. So kind of talk to me about that. What do you do with the company? And where do you see yourself going?
Right. So my official role is videographer / content creator. So coming into the job, I had previous work with Adobe Premiere. Like I was making my fraternities like Rush videos and stuff like that, like small stuff on the side. So I was using like Adobe Premiere pretty consistently, like here and there. And then I came here and I was able to just kind of like step right back into it. And like every day, I feel like almost every day I'm like just constantly learning something new, which is great because like in college I kind of lost the vision a little bit because I was just focused on other things. So it's nice to have it come back. And yeah, I pretty much like day to day here is just I just edit videos and that's it. Yeah, pretty much I edit videos all the time.
Yeah, well, that's when we're here in the office. But like a big part of your role also is doing the video shoots.
Mm-hmm.
You know, taking even photos as well, but mainly video, to really help our clients' services or our services for our clients and their brands come to life. Which is a huge part of our business here is the video, is the social media. Gabe helps out a lot with all of that. So you're doing well with Adobe, you're doing well with the editing, doing well with the videography. A lot of people out there, and I'm sure some of you listening, may not either have the means or the wants to invest in like a videographer or social media manager for their business. So if somebody was trying to build up their company's social media presence and they just had their phone to use, what would you tell them?
I mean, it's super doable. Most phones pass like I'm not really sure about Androids. I know that they have really good quality. I don't know what specific models, but anything past like the iPhone. I mean, you could do it with any phone you want, really. But anything after like an iPhone 13, like those cameras are amazing. The new iPhones shoot better video and photos than my like full on DSLR camera.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. So as long as, and especially with the new modes and stuff that they're coming out with, as long as you have a steady hand, if you want to really up your game, like get like a little gimbal or something, like a mount for your phone.
Now,
and then
before you go on, if people aren't sure what a gimbal is, what is a gimbal?
A gimbal's just a stabilizer. So there's electric gimbals. Those are definitely more on the expensive side, but you can just get like a handheld gimbal for pretty cheap on like Amazon, and then just get some sort of mic, like a lapel mic. Those are pretty cheap nowadays. And that's like all you need realistically, and some software. There's so many free softwares. I know DaVinci. Yeah. It's like a huge free software.
CapCut.
CapCut is huge. Like that's like really all you need if you want to do it yourself. It's super doable.
Yeah, that for sure. I mean, you could do it with no budget or the biggest budget in the world. Social media now is kind of just like a standard. You kind of just have to do it now, or people are going to forget about you, or you're not going to be taken serious. I know personally for me, like if I'm finding out about a new business or something I might want to purchase, first thing I do is search them up on Instagram. I'm sure you're the same way.
Yeah, definitely.
But it really is the name of the game. So for people who maybe are in a startup or they don't want to invest that money into like a professional social media management company like ours or somebody else, it's definitely doable. And then, so along with that, if somebody decides, you know what, like this is too much, I want to save time, I want to save some energy, I don't really know what I'm doing with social media, when do you think the right time is for them to make that next step and investing either in, you know, a social media manager, an agency, or even just a better camera?
I would say when it maybe becomes a little bit too stressful, or you're investing a lot of time in YouTube videos, like trying to figure it out. Because it is, like, honestly really frustrating once you get into the nitty gritty, as I'm sure, like, you know, too. It's definitely a little tedious sometimes. So
Sure.
I think when it starts, like, stressing you out and it starts using up a lot of your time and energy, I think that's probably when the best time to, like, switch over and do some research about hiring someone or something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, at the end of the day, their job is to run the business, not necessarily to run a social media account. So,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times we've come to realize that it's better for like the business owner to do what they're good at, and then, you know, let somebody else do what they're good at. So, to somebody who is an amateur and they're, you know, trying to build up their social media for their business, or, you know, they have hired an agency or whatever, what would you say is your like go-to strategy if somebody would want to build, you know, maybe their first 1,000 followers online through using video content? What would you say?
Like, the easiest way for
The
someone to
easiest
do
way.
it,
Yeah.
consistency probably is, like, the easiest thing. You don't even, like, you don't even have to. Good videos always helpful, but I think consistency is what makes it. If you really want to, like, blow up your account and gain some traction, it's always consistency. The more you post, the more traction you're gonna get, no matter what. You could be posting horrible videos, and it's still gonna. It matters about how much you're posting.
Yeah, exactly. Just the consistency really is the key in all things, but especially social media management or growing an account. So we kind of touched on it earlier, but we never got like fully in depth. So your role right now, you're doing videography, you're creating some awesome content. Pretty much any of the videos you see we put out, or a lot of the ones our clients put out, Gabe's behind the screen, making that come to life, doing great work. But, you know, the company is starting to evolve. We're growing. We just brought on another employee. Where do you see yourself kind of going? What do you want to do in that respect?
So I mean, I'm definitely here for the ride. I'm sure we've had a few conversations before. I want to see the company grow. I definitely do. I think that maybe, you know, down the line, videography is always still gonna be there. You know, managing of some sort. I would see myself being the most helpful in managing videographers, whatever that may be. That's the goal.
Yeah, right on. Right on. Is there anything you want to add? Anything you think, you know, on the top of your head that could provide value to somebody listening who maybe doesn't know much about videography or much about you or the company itself?
Let me think. Yeah. So I mean, I think going along with, like, videography, I think a lot of people are trying to get into it now, especially with the rise of social media. Younger
Sure.
people. We touched on it earlier. If you want to do it, just, like, use your phone. Like, that's, like, the easiest way to get into it. Just, like, start practicing, and it'll come. I think videographers are going to be a pretty popular thing in the future, especially with the rise of social media. So just getting practice. Like, you could literally shoot anything you want to. If you want to do it on your own YouTube account, go for it. But just, it's all about practice. You could record anything you want. It's practice. It's just practice.
Yeah, right on. So if somebody, I guess, liked what they heard, they want to get in touch with us or the company, what's the best way to reach you?
Best way to reach me is my email. It is gabe@simmonsmedia.co. I am a very quick responder, so that's the easiest way to connect.
So if there's somebody out there who liked what you said, they wanted to maybe learn more about you or do some work with you, what do you have to offer there?
Yeah, so the first 5 people that actually connect with me via email, via whatever that may be, preferably email, actually get a free 30-second video about me video for their business, where we just do a nice, high quality about me video.
Yeah, right. I mean, that explains itself enough.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want a free about me video for their business? So yeah, there you have it. This is Gabe. He's a rock star. He's been killing it since he joined here. Gabe, any final thoughts?
No, I'm just excited for the ride.
All right.